All right, welcome back. Another day, some Tuesday updates. Joining me right now is the Superintendent of Lafourche Parish, Jarod Martin. And Superintendent Martin, welcome to the program, and I hope you're doing okay.
We're doing all right. Good morning.
Good morning to you. I thought we'd use our 7 minutes for you to get right out there and start giving some assessments in Lafourche and maybe bring the people some news.
Without a doubt. So I got a text message right before our call that actually parts of Thibodeau may have received some power. So that is very encouraging. I don't know what parts of Thibodeau got power, but it's certainly good news. As it relates to schools, beginning in the Thibodeau area, and then I'll work my way south. Thibodeau High School and all of the schools that feed into Thibodeau High School fared very well. There's one school in particular that, however, did not fare well in the Thibodeau footprint, and that's Bayou Elementary School. You may be familiar with Bayou, Martin. It's a small elementary school in Kramer.
Right.
And it took on water.
Okay.
It got about 1.5 feet of water in it, so there's a substantial amount of damage there. The other Thibodeau area schools, however, fared very well, and we're optimistic that we'll be able to overcome the minor damages that the schools in Thibodeau took on. I will tell you, we also have about 800 guardsmen stationed at Thibodeau High School, and another set of guardsmen conducting a point of distribution at 6th Ward Middle School. So we're happy to support them as they support us. As you move into Central Lafourche's footprint, which again, Central Lafourche encompasses the schools in Bayou Blue, Raceland, and Lockwood. So Central Lafourche High School itself took on some substantial damage to the auditorium and gym, but we're already in the process of mitigating some of that.
Okay.
Bayou Blue Elementary, the lower elementary, that's the kindergarten through 3rd grade school, has one building that's completely missing the roof. So that building is going to be a long ways to getting back to housing students again. But the rest of the school actually fared very well. Same story in Raceland. The 3 Raceland area schools, there's a lower elementary, an upper elementary, and a middle school. The upper elementary in this case is missing 2 sections of roof. And then when you move toward Lockport, there are 2 schools there with roof damage as well, and that's Lockport Middle School and Lockport Upper Elementary. So we've got a contract with Lafourche Sheet Metal, and they've already begun the process of putting temporary roofs on those structures so that we can dry them and then begin the process of getting them ready to house students again. Mm-hmm. As we move into the South Lafourche footprint, South Lafourche High School, if you're going to put $1 on our damages, probably is going to be ground zero. It'll be the number one school in terms of cost to repair. A tremendous amount of roof damage, probably 50,000 square feet of roof damage that's significant, with another 50,000 square feet of roof that's questionable. What we are thankful for, though, is that the classroom sections of South Lafourche are the questionable part, not the absolutely damaged part. Also in South Lafourche, we have Golden Meadow Middle School, very old school in the very southern part of Golden Meadow. It sustained tremendous roof damage that caused wind damage and wind-blown water damage inside the administrative building. Extraordinarily old building with beautiful old antique wood floors that have gotten really, really wet, and we're doing our best to mitigate and control the water damage and hopefully get back to that building as soon as possible.
Yeah, let me ask you this real quick. What about platooning? We have about 2.5 minutes left. What about platooning? Is that a thought that's crossed your mind, or how are you going to juggle, whenever the start is, for students to go back? How will you juggle all that, if you could explain that?
Yeah, absolutely. So the way we're going to do this, and again, the last school that had damage was North Rose Elementary with some roof damage. We are conducting an analysis once the assessment is complete of how many classrooms each region has versus how many classrooms each region must have to facilitate school. We feel pretty confident that we're going to have enough classrooms by high school's footprint so that we can run school this school year for sure. And you know, as we phase in, it will likely be the Thibodeau High footprint, followed by the Central Lafourche footprint, followed by the South Lafourche footprint that would turn on. And we're contemplating a few different things, such as pushing the 8th grade from Golden Meadow Middle to South Lafourche, and the 6th and 7th grade going to a lower elementary, and then the lower elementary combining with the existing upper elementary. So I think that if we just rearrange ourselves into the available spaces, we may be able to pull this off much faster than we previously anticipated, because of our 28 schools, only 9 actually have significant damage.
And let me ask you, we got about a minute left. Football, is that off indefinitely, or what's the plan there?
Like our schools, it's off indefinitely. As soon as we deem it feasible to pull it off, we definitely want to give our kids an opportunity to have a season. But right now, our fear is pulling from the available resources we have, even things such as water, ice, and the medical care required. If a kid gets hurt at practice right now, hospitals are an issue.
Right.
So we're taking all that into consideration as we contemplate what reopening is going to look like.
All right, look, we really appreciate the update, and we're going to come to you every couple of days and get it. We know you're on top of it. You always are. We appreciate that. And we have a star-studded lineup today to get on Facebook and YouTube Live, and you're one of them. We appreciate it. And good luck, Jarod, and we appreciate your time this morning. And I'll let you get back to work. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, there you have it. Jarod Martin, the superintendent of Lafourche Parish. We have a lot more in this show, and we got a lot of senators, national congressmen coming into town. We'll have some stories with them. Don't go away.